thank you, sir, for being here. And it was indeed a very interesting session you took there. So, can you share some key insights from your session?
Thank you very much. Well, as was the panel discussion basically on consumer privacy in this particular era. So what happens is that we are in an era where we are using the internet and we use it on our mobile apps or you use it through your computers, and it is accessible from anywhere and everywhere. In India, we are almost about 560 million people who are using the internet. Of course, there are two variants to it. One is the wired, one is the wireless, which is about 17% and 18%. And as far as our growing, we are growing at almost around 20%. So that is a big number and big churn which is happening in India. Now, keeping those numbers in mind, just taking a step forward now after that, is that we are susceptible to the internet crimes, cyber security, information security. What is basically information security? Information security is whatever data you have, right? Whether it is on your mobile, whether it is on your computer, laptop, server, etc., etc. And what is cyber security? Cyber security is the protection of that particular data that you have. Now, we should be aware as citizens that privacy is a right, and the government has come up with a new act, which is the DPDR Act, right? And where a lot of things are covered into it. So, where under those particular acts, you know, your data is not the sole responsibility of yours, but it is the sole responsibility, also partly responsible, the person who is using your data. You can share data, but the consent of that particular data needs to be given by you before it is shared on any public platform, right? The act is also coming up where the liability in terms of fines, etc. And also we are working on the trans-border users of these your apps. You know, I want to purchase something from the US, UK, you can do that, but it has to be protected within that particular sphere. So this is what we were talking of. There were certain organizations, like I come from a different background, I come from a tech, it's a basically BFSI, InsurTech it is. So we have a lot of data with us. Whether that data needs to be shared, whether the data does not need to be shared, how much data needs to be shared, what are the steps that we are taking. So these are the things that we discussed today.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. This was so insightful of you. So now let me come to the second question: that how do corporate security professionals effectively trying to integrate and collaborate between cyber and physical security measures? As we all know that security isn't anymore about physical security or any like not only about cyber. So there is a integration between both of them happening.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. There is a collaboration between those. So let's understand first what is physical security. Physical security, say if there is a building, right? So that building needs to be protected. So you will have certain controls so that the person who is entering into the building, you know, you have his identity, he's sort of seen somewhere, he's identified and he is dedicated to a particular location. Now when we move forward, we move to the second part, which is the cyber security part of it. Basically your IT infrastructure all forms a part of the physical security, right? Now what happens is you have a data center, or you may have an IT room, a server room, etc., where the LANs or your PRI lines or all these things are terminated there. From there, then you have your LAN connection which goes to each particular desk where you are working on. So there are certain information security policies within an organization which need to be followed. There are certain cyber security laws which is designated by the government of India where we need to follow. There are certain other policies within an organization, like for example, there are certain organizations which do not allow the use of the USB ports. So we have a jump cloud. So the jump cloud forms a part of it where you are not supposed to be inserting any sort of an article into your laptops. So physical security and cyber security they are collaborated with each other, they are wedded with each other, and they go hand in glove with each other.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.